A lot of people on the internet will say that the ROI, or return on investment, in physical therapy simply isn't worth it. I've been a physical therapist for 8 years, and in today's video I want to explain in detail what the ROI of physical therapy has been for me over my career. What's up guys, my name is Nick Helton and I'm a physical therapist. In today's video I want to do something a little bit different. I want to discuss my net worth and subsequently my ROI for my career as a physical therapist. But before I get into the details, I want to mention a few caveats. I didn't get into physical therapy to be rich. Believe it or not, there's thousands of better ways to make more money than by going into physical therapy school. The topic of money is often a subject that people shy away from talking about. It's my opinion that an open dialogue about finance will help pre-physical therapists and new graduates to know what to expect. It will help current physical therapists to plan for their future and can positively impact the next generation of new physical therapists to do better than the last. And that leads me to why I like to talk about these kinds of subjects. I don't really care where I'm at compared to anyone else, and really you shouldn't either. We all have our own paths and there are an infinite number of variables that affect those paths. But I believe that sharing the knowledge of how we failed and succeeded in our careers can help benefit those around us, even if it's just learning what not to do. Have I put enough disclaimers into the video yet? Let me know by gently tapping that like button. It won't increase your net worth, but it will let me know that you actually want more of these kinds of videos in the future. All right, let's talk numbers. This is going to be a bit long, but I want to walk you through year by year what was going on. And I really want to dive into the details of my own personal ROI. I also want to highlight a few of the major life events that happened along the way. So what I've done is broken down my net worth by year since graduating physical therapy school back in 2012. At the time of graduation in 2012, my net worth was, wait for it, negative $129,000. I had roughly $94,000 of debt from undergraduate and grad school, and I made the brilliant decision to buy a new car the year I graduated for $35,000. Don't buy a new car the year you graduate college. Putting my wise investments into new automobiles aside, I started working in July of 2012 with that negative $129,000 hanging over my head. I had roughly $600 a month in auto loan payments, and I was putting an average of $2,000 per month into my student loans. I have a video describing how I paid off my loans in 4 years, so you can check that out if you want to see the actual specifics behind how I did that. In 2013, my net worth was negative $91,750. I'd officially crossed under the six-figure line, which made me feel like the number was actually something I could conquer. I was still paying the same amount towards my student and auto loans. And I was investing about $5,000 in my 401k spread throughout the entire year. 2013 was actually the first year I traveled outside the country, and I ran my first marathon in Dublin, Ireland. In 2014, I continued the same strategy. I was trying to be a minimalist and really live below my means. I saved as much as I could, but I had become obsessed with travel. I started going to the yearly physical therapy conference called Combined Sections Meeting, which was held in locations all across the country. It was covered with my continuing education budget at my job, which meant that I essentially got to travel across the country for next to nothing. In 2015, my net worth was approaching zero at negative $17,250. It's humorous to me to think of how happy it makes me to think that my net worth was actually approaching zero, and it gave me so much joy. This was also the first year that I really started to learn about investing and started trying to find ways to maximize my contributions to my retirement accounts. I also spent 2 years in Spain with my now wife and a close group of friends. It's really amazing how much you can save by renting a small vacation apartment with multiple people. In 2016, something amazing happened. I sent my final payment off to the student loan provider. To this day, sending that final payment is still something that I am extremely proud of. When I graduated in 2012, I thought it was going to be easy. Just save up $2,000 a month. How hard could that really be? As time went on, I definitely doubted that I had the discipline to go through with the 4-year plan. It's really easy to say, you know what? I'm just gonna go buy something expensive to reward myself for all this work and get off track. I definitely am someone who comes up with ideas easily, but my execution is often lacking. Paying off those loans made me realize that I really need to stop doubting myself. My net worth in 2016 was $20,000, and I finished paying off that new car that I bought back in 2012. Fun fact, it's actually the car I'm still driving today. After paying off my loans, I turned my obsession to investing. I had no idea what an index fund, tax advantage account, or terms like market alpha even meant. I tried to consume as much information on the subject as I could. And now that I had no student loan or car payments, all of that money went towards my 401k. In 2017, my net worth was $76,346 after making some money in the stock market and getting a raise at work. My favorite memory of 2017 was traveling to 6 different countries with my now wife. 2018 was more of the same. However, now I turn my attention towards saving up a down payment to buy a home. I was also in a fortunate enough position to be able to help my now wife pay off the remaining balance on her student loans. I honestly think that I was more excited to be able to help her pay off her loans than when I paid off my loans. That year, my wife and I also spent 2 weeks in Italy, which to this day is still my favorite trip that I've ever been on. I genuinely can't wait to go back sometime in the future. My net worth in 2018 was $132,692. In 2018, I also started my LLC, Health Strength, and began working with cash paying clients. I also started consistently posting on my social media account, Dr. Nick DPT. 2019 was the year we bought our first house. Between investing and helping my now wife pay down her loans, our down payment for the home was quite small, about 7% of the house valued at $272,000. Since we had such a low amount of equity in the house, I diverted a portion of my investments into the home to push towards getting 80% of loan to value. When we bought our house in 2019, our interest rate was 4.125%. With the home purchase, my net worth has now grown to $167,500. In 2020, I continued more of the same investing, maxing out my 401k, maxing out my Roth IRA, and my HSA. I also opened up a brokerage account and invested even more into the stock market. I bet heavily on the market recovering during the 2020 market drop. And with mortgage interest rates so low, I refinanced the house down to 2.7% interest. Our home was also appraised at $297,000, which was $25,000 more than we had bought it the previous year, which meant that as of December of 2020, we currently have no PMI or private mortgage insurance, and I have around 78% loan to value equity in the house. So now for that part that you all clicked on the video for. As of December of 2020, which is halfway into year 8, I currently have a net worth of $257,251. That was a lot to unpack. Hopefully I didn't make that too complicated. With all that said, I hope this video encourages you to have an open dialogue about your finances. You don't have to post it on YouTube, but if you do decide to share, let me know. My goal with this video is to give an honest snapshot of the ROI of physical therapy for me personally, at least from a financial perspective. From a career and job satisfaction perspective, becoming a physical therapist has been the best decision I could have ever made. However, from a financial perspective, some people may not think so. I spent 7 years in school and I'm currently 34 years old. You could easily be well ahead of where I'm at financially if you invested more from an early age and started working at the age of 18. So really the question is, do you think it's worth it? Long term, my plan is to continue investing heavily and to get to the point where I don't have to trade time for money. In any case, I hope you get some value from the video. I plan to make one of these often to update you on my overall financial independence journey. If you want to follow along, tap the subscribe button and leave me a comment if you have any questions. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for watching.